So the other day, I decided that I wanted to take advantage of some nice weather that we were having, and I wanted to go over on a walk to my local lakes, which is just around the back of like my flat. It's very close. Just for some context, I have lived in this area since about 2003. This is now where the majority of my life has been spent. I moved around a little bit as a kid, up until 2003, and then I kind of stuck around the same sort of area. So this sort of town I have known for like a really long time. So I decided to go on a walk over to this lakes because I've started like trying to listen to my music a bit more intentionally, and I've started to, own my nostalgia a little bit more and all that sort of stuff, and make peace with like the past and all that sort of stuff. Reclaim some of the music taste I had when I was younger and not cringe at it and not be embarrassed by it, all that sort of stuff. And I have been using a new music app to listen to my music, but that's not what this is about. I wanted to make some playlists on that app, so I wanted to go and walk over to these lakes that I have lived around, and I've been going to these lakes when I was in school, when I was hanging out with my friends. I have been happy over there, I have been terribly, terribly sad over there, and it has been, those lakes have been a constant, and they've always now, for the last 5 years, they've been pretty much at my back door. So I decided to go and by myself just go and walk and find a bench and sit and watch the sun fall a little bit from, around about 6 p.m. to 7 p.m, just around there. And it was only probably around an hour that I was out. As I walked through the lakes, I just remember thinking about all the memories that I have there, and, how there can be such a longing for nostalgia, there can be such a longing for the past, but it was in that moment, it was I felt like I could see all the kind of versions of me that had been to that lake, and that I was okay with it. And even though I'm moving and it's this really big thing and it's really scary because I'm moving to literally the other side of the world where all my family and friends aren't. I mean, my partner's there, and that's awesome, and that's, kind of one of the main reasons I'm moving, apart from, falling in love with the place when I've kind of been there on my trips, as some of you might have seen. So yeah, I just think in this sort of period where I've sort of been mourning, I guess, my sort of life here, and I don't want to be too melodramatic because I am a drama queen, but I just sort of feel like in some ways I've been feeling like the version of me that lives here and made music in this space and has had my whole life here, there's a dramatic part of me internally that's oh, that part of me is dying. And I guess I've been sort of mourning that, but at the same time trying to see it as a sort of rebirth, a new beginning type thing. And that's been really healthy, but it's been a bit of a roller coaster. There's been a lot of things to process. It was just so nice to go over there, and it felt like that was one of the first moments that I felt very at peace, at peace with the whole process and everything, as stressful as it is and as scary as it is. And that walk and sitting on that bench and making playlists and listening to music, I think that will be a core memory for the rest of my life. So it is the little things, I guess. I don't know why I wanted to share that story. I just sort of did. I felt like it was a nice one to open with because, yeah, I am moving to Canada. I am moving to Vancouver in British Columbia. I've been there a whole bunch of times. I was there for about 5 or 6 weeks in November to December last year. And that was kind of more of a trying out living there and doing my day to day, and still trying to keep in contact with my friends and still make music and everything. I made a whole bunch of stuff. I made a piano track that got released with Lo-Fi Girl recently under my alias Little Music. I have been working on some other stuff with Lo-Fi Girl that will be very exciting. It's not Project Air stuff, but there is some other stuff that I think will be really, really exciting and really, really cool. And I'm a lot more excited about it than I thought I would be. So that's cool. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. I've been making a lot of stuff when I was in Vancouver, and I've been making a lot of stuff here, and I've been very busy with music. And I guess this video isn't really about music too much. It's about kind of moving and reflecting on that and letting you know what's going on, because I feel like if I didn't say I'm moving, I feel like it would be kind of weird, to just move and one day just start posting there. But yeah, to anyone that's been trying to reach out to me or message me about collabs or whatever, or just try to get a response from me in general, I have been so busy. Everything has been so crazy. And now I'm moving next week when I film this. I mean, my flat is in the process of getting emptied. These are all coming down. I can, we can sit here and we can take some down now if you would like, but everything that I've, this studio, everything that I've made here, this sort of era, it's it's done. Now there's like foam on the floor and I probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah, everything is going to be very different, and I don't know what music is going to look like, and I don't know what my relationship with social media looks like anymore. I feel very intimidated, I guess, by like, you know, releasing music and posting about releasing music and everything, and I don't really know how to do it anymore. Or at least in a way, I don't really know how to do it in a way that feels like true to me. You know what I mean? I know it's not that deep, but it kind of is, like, to me, because it's, you know, it is my life. So why am I moving to Vancouver other than, you know, to be with my partner? There's a big part of me that just wants change, and I feel like in, you know, if we bring it back to music for a second as a good example, I feel like this room has kind of given all that it has to give. I feel like, you know, for me to make new Project Air music in here would be weird. I did make one more song though. The last song that I made in here was a Project Air song. Why not? Like, you can hear a bit of it. Let's do some music stuff. Here it is. So yeah, that was the last thing that I made in the studio, over some pictures of Vancouver, because that was what I was thinking about when I was writing it. I was thinking about just everything that's coming, and, you know, like a lot of different things really about, you know, my relationship to myself, you know, like self-care, self-love, and just all the people around me. And, you know, the song is called Loving You, and it's, you know, you would think, oh, it's a love song, it's about his partner because he's moving. It's like, no, it's about my family, my friends, you know, people that, you know, I'm really close with, everyone, because, you know, I'm going to be 8 hours away from everyone. I'm going to be in a totally different time zone in a totally different place in the world. So yeah, that's what I was thinking about when I wrote that song, and hopefully you get to hear it soon. Yeah. So why else am I moving, other than, you know, music and fresh inspiration and that sort of stuff, and to be with my partner? I do think just change is a part of it. I like, one of my faults, I guess, is that I'm, but also a good thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing, I guess, is that I'm very switched on to like politics these days and what's going on. And, you know, I don't really know where the best place to be is, because everything feels so chaotic and horrible, and, you know, even, you know, online can sort of feel like that sometimes. So it's like, I feel like there's a part of me that's just trying to find some goodness, you know, in my time in Vancouver, and whenever I've been there, I really like it. I think there is a lot of good there. I'm sure people who are locals that have lived there for like years or their whole life or whatever would maybe disagree, but, you know, when I compare it to like just how things have sort of been in the UK and my experience of it, because everyone's experience is different. My experience of everything there has just been really positive, really nice. I feel like I've been exposed to, you know, a wider variety of like cultures, of just things, and like seeing like infrastructure differently, seeing the world differently, and like the landscapes there. I mean, come on, like, look at some of these landscapes. Look at how pretty all this is. Like, I'm putting photos on the screen now and I'm imagining them in my head, and they all look really pretty. I've got Alex in editing, choose some really pretty photos. But yeah, look how good that all looks. So yeah, I'll be moving to Canada. I am moving very, very soon. I'm moving around like mid-April. And right now it is the 9th of April as I record this. And I need to get back to packing everything because all my stuff gets shipped tomorrow. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video to kind of reflect on this and let people know what's happening. And if you don't hear from me, or I'm like slow to respond for a little while, that might be why. But yeah, that's what's going on. And it's really scary, but it'll be fine, I hope. If you have stuck around and watched this whole video, I do just want to say a massive thank you, and to give you a quick update on music. I have a lot of stuff still planned. There are multiple albums under all my different aliases. I have a Project Air album that is sat on a hard drive that I'm going to be mixing on my laptop while I'm like traveling and getting used to things, because I won't have my full setup for a really long time. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming. There's a lot of really exciting stuff coming. I just don't really know how to post about it. I don't really know what to do to promo things. I don't really want to do like single drops and, you know, all of that like TikTok stuff, you know, like it just, none of it feels real, and doing something like this just felt a bit more real, you know? So yeah, lots of stuff to come and lots to do, and it's all very exciting. So wish me luck, and I wish you luck on whatever you're doing, and yeah, have how is everyone's 2025 going? We got any big life updates? Anyone else moving? Anyone else doing anything cool? I don't know. If I haven't spoken to you for a while and you're watching this, drop a comment and let's have a little chat and a catch up. Let's make this a wholesome, nice video. But that'll do. Thanks so much for watching. And I will see you soon in a very, very different room. But yeah, see you later. Bye.